Today I'm going to explain to you on how to solve this inequality. The first thing that you need to do is to shift all our right hand side to the left hand side. So I'm going to use one of the method to solve this kind of inequality. It's going to be the graphing method on 0. So you can see that I have shift all my right hand side to left hand side, and you can see we have it more than 0. So I'm going to write it down here, more than 0. So this whole equation that we have is more than 0. It's very important to take note whether is it more than 0 or less than 0. Okay, so the next step to do is we're going to use our graphic calculator to plot the graph, and you can see that it's cutting my x-axis at 0 and 2. So this is the next step you got to find. What is my x-intercept, the roots of the equation? So once we found that it's 0 to 2, we look back to the inequality, we'll have it more than 0. So it's going to be lying above my x-axis because it's more than 0. It's going to be positive. Why? So it's going to be here and here. So you can see that for the inequality, as we are going to solve it, it's going to be less than 0 and more than 2. So we're going to solve this inequality. We're going to find the solution where this equation is more than or equal to 0. So we're going to take note of it. It's more than or equal to 0. So we have this more than or equal to 0. So we're going to take note of this first. And then we're going to sketch the graph using our graphic calculator, plot it in, set the range, and you get this graph here. So you can see that we have to find our equation of the two asymptote. We're going to find where is our asymptote. How are we going to do that? Very easy. We're just going to look at the denominator. So we have this x minus 3 and 2 open bracket x minus 2 close bracket. So we're going to let it be equal to 0. So we have x minus 3 equal to 0, and we also have our 2 minus x minus 2 equal to 0, and you're going to find the x. You get x equal to 3 and x equal to 2, and this is where we have our vertical asymptote to be 2 and 3. So if I'm going to put it down here, my vertical asymptote to be 2 and 3, we have it here. So this is going to be my 2 and this is going to be my 3. So the next step to do is to find if there's any roots using our graphic calculator. So you're going to find that you have 1, which is here, -1. Okay, once you get to find the roots, the vertical asymptote, the next thing to check is to look at the inequality sign. Is it more than or equal to 0 or less than or equal to 0? Take note of the equal sign there. So since this inequality is more than or equal to 0, it's everything above our x-axis. So we have this part and this part. Okay, so for the final answer, what you need to write it down, you got to write it in this ways. It's going to be from -1. As you can see here, we have our -1, and take note of the less than, the inequality sign where you have the equal sign there, because that is what the question gave us. But for the 2, we do not have the equal sign because that is the asymptote. The line is not going to touch the asymptote. Okay, so we got that -1 to 2, and you can see that it's from 3 and all the way forever, right? It's infinite because we do not have a roots down there. So it's going to be x is more than 3. So you can see that I will have my union sign in the middle because it's not connected between these two range. It's from -1 to 2 and from 3 onwards. So this is how we find the inequality for such equation.